Hello, I'm going to do just a little impromptu tutorial for how to use OBS with Caffeine with the LRH tools for overlay and text-to-speech. We're going to move through it pretty quick. So, the first thing you have to do is get OBS. If you don't know how to get it, that's it. obsproject.com, or just Google OBS Studio, get the one for Windows, of course download it and install it. You will also need to go to caffeine.tv, www.caffeine.tv. Let me pull something up here. I don't know how small it's going to be on your screen. Let me make it real big just to make sure that everybody can see it. I'll also put these links below. Let's see, we'll go back to maybe this project. Let me get that. And there you go. Caffeine.tv and obsproject.com. Just download the OBS and use that. And for Caffeine, what you will do is go over here to where it says Start Broadcasting, click it, and it will say PC Gaming Camera, download the free app. So you want to download that app, click it and download here, and install it. So now you'll have OBS and Caffeine, the two things you need. So now let's do, I'm going to slide this over here. I'm going to start a whole new blank scene collection. Let's call it training. Let's say OK. Alright, now what I'm showing you, you can do on one screen, but to give you an idea of what's actually going on, I'll show you what I do so you'll know what we're looking for. Hold on, where's the image I just made? Of course I would lose it. Okay, now this is how I do it. I've got my main screen here in the front. Won't let me highlight or anything. Then I'll have OBS on one monitor, and it's got outgoing. Of course, I'm using a full screen projector preview to make sure it looks real good going out. I've got an incoming at the top from Caffeine just to see how my broadcast is going, because I want to make sure it's smooth and everybody can see it. Then I've got my text-to-speech running and the Caffeine app, of course. I want to show you something while I'm thinking about it before I get too far ahead. You can pull up Task Manager, like you could have it set like this, and let's see, I can't make it smaller. Of course it would be smaller, but say it was right here, down here on the screen. Because one thing you want to do when you're doing video broadcasting, your CPU, your memory, and your disk, if they're pegging 100 at any time while you're broadcasting your game, then your feed, where it says incoming from Caffeine up here, what you're going to be watching coming back, or what your viewers will be seeing, is going to stall. Every time CPU, memory, or disk hits 100, it's going to stall. So whatever you're doing, or however you're doing it, you might have to decrease the resolution. You might have to decrease from, say, ultra to high to medium graphics, whatever. But you've got to get it to where your computer can run all of these things without pegging 100. That's my recommendation anyway. But don't let this put you down that I got all these stupid monitors running. You really can do everything I'm getting ready to show you on one monitor, but it's just good if you can spread them out. So we're back to OBS. So now what do we need to do? We got to add things into OBS because we want to have the game, the camera, and LRH tools for Caffeine with your text-to-speech and your overlay, follow overlay. And there's a few things he's getting going. He's a real good guy, LordRampantHump. You can find him on Caffeine, and he's designing these overlay tools. So I'm going to show you how to put them all in. Now we've got everything up and running. I've got profile. It says restream. You can make it any old profile name you want. You could put a new one in here. And scenes training, but I will show you this. Don't really worry a whole lot about setting up OBS. Now if you was going to do streaming, of course you'd have to have all this filled in, but I'm not going in. That's not the scope of this video, so I'm not going into that. Output, don't worry about any of this because we're not outputting to a stream. But you do want to do this. Video. Right now I've got mine on 1920 by 1080 with an output scaled resolution of 1280 by 720 because that's what best Caffeine is going to do anyway. And I've got my FPS value of 60. I don't think you're going to be able to broadcast. I don't know if the Caffeine app goes above 30, but you know, I can do it on this computer, so why not? But anyway, if you're having trouble with those task manager values pegging 100, you can decrease some of these up here until you can get it where you want it. Because if you do, OBS won't be using as much CPU. Excuse me. But anyway, here we go. That's all you really have to do because you're just working with the full screen projector off of OBS, so you don't really worry about streaming. If you want to, you can set them up. Like you can see, I've got Restreaming Twitch. You can set them up, and since you're streaming out of the Caffeine app, you can also hit start streaming here and stream to Twitch or restream at the same time or whatever. But just keep in mind, Caffeine has an upload bandwidth of about 4 to 5, and if you're going to get a decent stream to Twitch, you need anything from 2.5 to 3. Just keep in mind, if you're going to upload to multiple providers, you need to have a lot of good bandwidth, or they're going to get it's not going to be a good view for them. They're going to get a lot of stalls and buffering. Alright, let's see what we need. I got my first scene here. It's kind of a Noobie tutorial for OBS users, but I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but this should get you started on how to learn how to do stuff. You already have scene in here, so to give you a better idea how this works, I'm going to name it main scene. So my main scene, I want to be, let's keep it simple for now, my game, my camera, and my OBS stuff, my follower overlay. Really simple. You go to sources. We're going to build this scene in sources. So the first thing we want is a game. I guess I better start it. I'm going to start up Wildlands and get it running. Sorry about the staggery nature of this video. I just wanted to set it up because I get asked a lot how to do this. So, how do we let's see. Hold on, I need to show you something back here. A good thing to do when you're going to be broadcasting like this is to make sure you're set to windowless, bordered windowless mode. Window borderless mode. Let's go into options. Go into, where is it at? Video. And right here I've got windowed mode, borderless. That way you can move between different applications running without your game crashing all the time. Some games run better this way than others. Some people don't like it because they take a little bit of a hit on their frame rate, so they don't like that either. So you'll just have to play around with your experience, see what happens. But I just want to show you the game's running in the background. I've got OBS over it. So now we can add the game. I'm going to add, just say, you can sometimes do it as game capture, but game capture a lot of times likes full screen applications. Let's say Ghost Recon Wildlands. See, it says capture any full screen. We're going to capture a specific.
This is Operation Kingslayer.
Get off there. I didn't do anything in the game that started that mess up. It says capture specific window. So we're going to go to where it says Ghost Recon Wildlands. We're going to capture that. And there it is. Comes right up. So now we've got our game. So next thing we want, a camera. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to go video capture device. And I'm going to say main camera. It's going to pop up. I've got several things. I use the Logitech Webcam Pro. So I'm saying, okay, and there I am. And you got to kind of trim it. I got a green screen behind me, so I can hold Alt, and I can kind of trim in everything, shrink it down so I don't look so huge there. If you got a green screen, you can do this. If you want to put up a green screen behind you, just go to Main Camera, right-click it, Filters, look for a chroma key, and go OK. And as you notice here, you can still see it. Don't let that put you off. The green screen disappeared, but look on the main screen back here. See? Ta-da! It's gone behind me. Because I used Alt. I held down my Alt key and just trimmed it out. Grabbed it by the sides. So that makes it pretty easy. So now here we go. We've got the game and my camera. So how are we going to stream from here? Oh yeah. Now let me get to the OBS tools. Let me do some Alt tab. And notice I'm doing all this on one screen now. I'm doing it all on one. We were talking about the OBS tools. Of course, I've somehow or another shut them down. Let me get back to them. Here we go. My plugins. Let me take you back to the home screen. Okay. Sorry about the rambling nature of this video. I just kind of throwing it together. Anyway, here we are. We're at the Caffeine tools. LordRampantHump, LRH tools. He's a programmer. He's really good, doing a really good job with this. He's opened this up to everybody now, so everybody can use it. I don't know why mine keeps going back to plugins, but whatever. You go to what I showed you at the beginning, the caffeineextension.de website. Don't have to do my plugins. It's just mine's stuck there for some reason. Create you an account, sign up, and here's how to do TTS. This is real cool. I mean, it's so simple. Once you are signed up, all you got to do is hit chat log. Click on it, and there it is. It's going to run. You just keep this browser open in the background, and it runs, and you hear it. You don't have to incorporate it into OBS or anything. I usually flick through here so that it opens up all these other options. You can pick different voices. Let's see. Do one.
Heather voice selected.
Yeah. A lot of times just
old voice selected.
And I usually cut on the message beep. When somebody does a message, it beeps. But basically, once again, I'm on the same screen. One monitor, you're still doing everything I do with the 4 monitors you see. And where did my... What you're seeing in TTS, right down here in the bottom right. I just have it open on another screen so that I can read it as it comes through too. But the whole idea of having TTS is so that you can play the game and pay attention without having to read. But just in case I missed something or didn't understand, I got it open over here. Alright, now the follower overlay. Follower celebration. So when somebody hits follow you, it pops up on the screen. You can say thank you and stuff. Click on follower celebration. I'm not going to go in depth on how to do an edit on this. He's already did it in another video. I'll put links to it in my video so you can get to it. But how do you get it into OBS? I'll show you real quick. It says up here, OBS preview link. Copy link to clipboard. So you've clicked it. It's just as if you've copied it. Go back into your OBS. I'm alt tabbing. I'm back in OBS. Hit this. I'm hitting the plus for add in your sources. All these sources make up one scene. You can make up multiple scenes so that you can flip around between them. It's pretty neat. Just think of somebody giving a play on a stage, and different scenes require different props. And so that's what you're doing. I'm adding another prop. So I'm putting in a browser source. I'm going to call this follower celebration. Did I spell it right? I don't know if I spelled that right. But anyway, I got follower celebration. It just defaults to the OBS studio thing. Just copy yours into here. Just paste it right in and leave it at that. Say okay. And you're going to see it come up, and I stretch it around, make it fit my screen a little better. I've got a big one in there. I put all kinds of mess. Yours will be completely different depending on how you edit it. I right click, I hit interact, and it lets you get rid of this message. And as you can see, there it was. Let's see, there it goes. It's firing. For some reason, the last person, every time I restart it, the last person comes up again. But you saw it pop up there. Of course, yours will have whatever else you want in it. I'll go back to it. That's how I edit it. It's kind of like Word. I mean, if you can do Microsoft Word, you can pretty much put in a picture and type in some stuff and hit save. That's it. You can also do a sound. Like you heard that siren go off. You can make your own sounds. But I'll link to his video. He shows you how to do that. No reason for me to repeat what he's already done. Okay, now, how do we get all this on Caffeine? We've built everything. We're ready to go. So how do we do this? We've got our game in the background. Now, I hate to do this, but I got to show you something. And I've got to have the game off to do it. So I'm going to do a reload again. I'm going to pause in and out so you can gotta sit and watch this. Reload. Okay. Start. Here's my Caffeine app. You should have went to those links that I showed you and installed it. Here's the Caffeine app for Windows. Double click it. And it starts up. What you can do is, like I said, the app can run in the background. You can just pick what you want it, no rating or 17 plus, whatever, and then type something in, name your game, whatever you want people to see. I've got intelligent streaming for the sophisticated gamers, just kind of a joke. But anyway, when you start it, don't hit start broadcast. Never hit this button if you're going to do OBS. Leave that alone. Do it this way. I'm going to crank the game back up again because now that Caffeine's running, I want you to see something. Crank my game up again. And I'm going to have to sit here while it loads because you've got to see it when it comes up. Wildlands, here we go. When you've got Caffeine app running like that, you're going to get a prompt to hit Control-Alt-L. I want you to see it because I want to make sure you know what it looks like so you do not hit it. Because you can't hit it from this screen. Let it come on up. I'm trying, if I sound like I'm rambling a lot, I'm trying not to forget anything. There you go. In the bottom left right hand corner, broadcast this game, Control-Alt-L to begin. Don't hit it on this screen. Don't hit it on the actual game. Now it's disappeared. So we're going to go back to OBS. I got OBS up. And we're going to do preview scaling. Make sure it's on output 1280 to 720 because we're trying to get the best image to Caffeine. And I found out some of this gives me a better image. On enable preview, I'm going to unclick it. If you leave enable preview on like this, it's going to flicker these red lines all around these images and around me. These red lines will flicker out to Caffeine. Things started up. So you want to enable preview like that. And now you're going to right click again and say full screen projector preview. Now, I've got 4 monitors, so I'm going to pick the one. Now on the full screen projector preview, Control-Alt-L. And it'll act like it doesn't do anything, but watch Caffeine up in the top right. Just give it a moment. Okay, I had to edit. I had a little problem there, so if you saw like flicker while I changed stuff up. Anyway, I hit Control-Alt-L and just waited. I didn't do anything else, just Control-Alt-L and waited. You can see my game's running behind me right now. But now the Caffeine app has started broadcasting. This thing's giving me trouble because I'm trying to do all this at the same time. Just wanted to sit in that menu. And I want you to be able to see everything. Okay, the Caffeine app has started broadcasting because I hit Control-Alt-L and I did it on the full screen preview. I'm going to turn the full screen preview. You can turn it on and off while you're doing it. Don't matter. Okay, but you see now I'm looking at the full screen preview. I'm not looking at actually my game. You can see Caffeine app is running and broadcasting because it's got the big red on here that says end. If I hit it, it's going to cut my broadcast. But also Caffeine, it puts your text messages up on the side of the screen. So instead of it being in the middle of your game while you're trying to play, it's going to be, you see right now where a friend of mine, Elliot Fleming 1, he's come on to come into my chat channel, and you can see it. It shows him. But now it's on your full screen broadcast, not on your actual game. So let me go back and show you something. You see right here where my main game is clear, but over where it says outgoing OBS, that's where it would be. So the text would actually line up here, not on my main game, if you want to do it that way. You don't have to, but I just think it's kind of neat. It pulls all the text off my game because it's going to the full screen projector preview. That's what's being broadcast to Caffeine, not my game. So keeps my screen clear while I do all this other stuff around it. Alright, I think that pretty much covers it. And I'm going to show you one last thing. Here's my game right here. I just clicked on it, pulled it to the front. All this other stuff is now running behind my game. And I'm using one monitor to do all of it. And I'm broadcasting to Caffeine in 10 and 12 in 720p. And it should look great for anybody. Just remember what I told you about Task Manager. Let me pull that up again. That's important. Where did it go? There it is. Just remember what I told you about Task Manager. 48, 46. These CPU memory and disk cannot be hitting 100. If they're hitting 100, your viewers are getting a lot of buffering. So that's it for there. I hope this helps somebody. It gives you Caffeine, gives you your overlay. This doggone thing is driving me nuts. Gives you your overlay, your game, your camera, OBS, your overlay, your text-to-speech, and your follower celebration. That should cover everything. I'm going to put links beneath this video